Hi, what's up? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depending on your time zone where which you're connecting with me live this beautiful Saturday afternoon right here in Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria. First, I want to thank God Almighty for this privilege He has always given to us. It's been gold all the way. Secondly, I want to appreciate each and every one of you who have taken time to subscribe to our channel. Currently, as we speak, we are 1,514 subscribers, and that's huge for us. Thank you so very much. And to our esteemed clients, thank you for trusting your project in us. Thank you for believing that yes, we can achieve your project goal. And we are actually achieving the project goal. This afternoon, I like to give us a beautiful tips on the major things that you need to prepare for if you are planning to carry out a decking project. What are those things that are major that you need to prepare for? The first thing that you need to do is your woodwork. That's the first thing you need to do to carry out your woodwork. And the size of your project will determine the numbers of wood that you will buy. And guess what? The prices of this wood varies per location. So for example, you're buying 1 by 12 by 18. When I mean 1 by 12, I simply mean the wideness of the board. You get the point? And then the length of the board, 18 feet. That's why it's called 1 by 12 by 18. Depending on your location and also your bargaining power, some people might get theirs for 5,000 naira for one board. Some might get theirs for 4,800, depending on the location. You get my point? And also, I haven't gotten the board. Some project may take you nothing less than 300 boards. Some may take you 280 boards, and some may even take 370 boards, depending on the size of your project. And also, don't forget that it is also the duty of the engineer or the project manager to identify the numbers of boards that will be divided into two, which can also be divided into 1 by 6. That's the duty of your project manager or your engineer. So the first thing to carry out is the woodwork. The second thing to identify on the project is the steelwork, which you can also call, simply put, your rod. That's the second thing to carry out on the project. And what are the rods that are essential that you need? You need 12 mm rods, you need 16 mm rod, you need 8 mm rod. Some people can simply interchange 8 mm for 10 mm, also depending on the nature of your project. But in carrying out these, it is often identified that the 12 mm rod takes a whole lot of rods. So for example, some projects may take 300 12 mm rod, some may take even 400 mm, 12 mm rod, depending on how the engineer has been able to identify your project. And then the engineer is saying, oh, we need to do a whole lot of reinforcement on this project. As such, this is the numbers of rod that we would need to achieve your project. And to be honest, you will see the rods on your project. Yes, don't forget I used to say something. And one of the first things to carry out a successful project is not having your materials on site, but having the right guy to help you use your materials on site. Having done with the steel work, which is the rod, then the next thing to do is to lay your electrical piping. To lay your electrical piping, and I know you can see some white strands on the woodwork. That's the electrical piping. Yes. So the next thing to do is to carry out the electrical piping. And for the electrical piping, it is the duty of the project manager or the engineer to identify where the electrical fittings designed in the architectural plan as such to advise the electrical personnel on where the electrical fittings for the pipings will actually go through in the entire building project. Having done that, don't forget I talked about the woodwork, the second thing, the steel work, the third thing, the electrical piping. Also, for some persons, it is also this is actually optional, depending on the client taste. And some may actually request for the plumbing piping. The plumbing piping, but it is optional. Some people will factor in the plumbing piping, while some may just say, okay, fine, we don't need the plumbing piping right now. We're not doing a full conduit as such. We can skip the plumbing piping. Then the next thing as the materials to identify on your site is the sand, the sharp sand. The sharp sand on this project, we actually estimated 3 4-in-1 trips. 3 4-in-1 trips sharp sand. And then after you've gotten the sharp sand, the next thing you need is the granite. On this project, you're going down? Okay, please don't take long. All right, the next thing to identify is the granite. On this project, we actually estimated for 60 tons. 60 tons of the granite, and that's what we are using on this project. And is actually the project is actually consuming the granite, and we are begging God that God, please, we need this granite to complete this job. But trust me, it will actually complete this job. And here is where I think every client pay attention to: cement. On this project, we are budgeting 270, 280 bags of cement to execute this project. But first, we have the first batch of cement on site, which is 250 bags of cement, and we're gradually, excuse me, and we're gradually using the cement. But our estimate for this project is 270, 280 bags of cement. Very important at this point in time. Please don't ever joke with this water. When you are casting your decking, don't ever joke with water. Yes, you need water, so excuse me. You need water on your site, so you must ensure that you make available water on your site. Let me take you around. All right. Let me take you around on the project, okay? All right, so this is the project fully. Excuse me. All right. Let's take a walk. Let's take a tour fully. All right, so you can see the job being executed. Yes, the weather is getting a little bit cloudy, but we are telling God that, God, you know we are your children. This rain can fall. Officer, well done, sir. Yeah, so this is one of our very respected subcontractor who is doing a very beautiful job on site and doing a very beautiful job on site. All right, so let's take it off fully. All right, so we have engineer Edwin also on site.
Almost, sir. Well, God is helping us. The rain is threatening, and after a while, it will subside. And well, the weather has been good. The weather has been good.
All right, so we're currently carrying out the decking job.
Yes.
Of this project, how many people flats do we have there?
Okay. This project is it's a six flat apartment. We have 3 flats beneath and then 3 flats upstairs. Downstairs, what we have is a 3-bedroom, a single unit of 3-bedroom flat, a single unit of 2-bedroom flat, and then a single unit of 1-bedroom flat. And so we also intend to replicate the same thing on the first floor. Yeah.
So on the materials we're actually using on this site,
Okay.
estimate of the materials we're actually using on
Okay. We so far we have used about close to 300 1 by 12 by 18 feet planks. We have also used about 418 12 mm, 96, I mean 98 16 mm, and then 41 8 mm, then 45 kg of binding wires. That's for the ironworks. For granite, we've used about, okay, we are actually projecting to use about 60 tons. As you can see, we have done close to 40 tons thereabouts. Okay, for sand, we use 4-in-1 trips of sand, 3 of them. And for what else? Cement. Okay, cement. We are earmarking to use between 250 to 280 bags. So what we have right here on site is our first batch of 250 bags. The cement man, the cement supplier is not far from us, so should we exceed that number, it's just for us to give him a call away. So that's like a summary of everything that we estimate that this project should take. And so far, it has been working like that, in the sense that the way we projected them to be, it has been playing out like that, such that we gave projections, and so far we've not really experienced material has not been enough, and at the same time we've not really experienced material has been too surplus and all that. And then for bamboo, I didn't mention bamboo. Okay, we had a number of bamboos before now on site, and so we now did an addition of about 150 bamboos. Then for nails, we used roughly 5 bags of nails, 4 inches, 5 inches, 3 inches, and then 2 inches. So that's like the summary of the materials that we use for this project.
If anyone is to actually execute a decking job currently in Nigeria, oh, I love putting you on hotspot. How much do you think we need to estimate?
Um,
Just a rough estimate.
okay, well, then again, it depends on the nature of the building. For instance, if I was doing, say, a 4-bed or 5-bed duplex, I will, at worst, I would use half the materials I'm using right now. The number of duplex we've done is usually half. For instance, granite is usually about 30 tons, sand two trips of 4-in-1, then rod is usually about half these numbers or maybe a little more. So for a project as this, if you sum up everything we've spent on this particular project, coupled with labor and all that, for instance, you have about over 40 persons working here on site, and factoring how much you're going to pay them, then the materials that machines and all that came to site. So if you factor labor and materials for this particular project, we've done well over 8 million.
Wow.
Yes, well, when I say well, I mean well over 8 million. We're actually clicking towards 9 million. But if it was a duplex, for instance, you shouldn't be spending that much. For a duplex, around this time, you shouldn't be spending, say, max 4.5, maybe close to 5 million.
So for a duplex,
Yeah.
4.5, 5 million
Yes,
to be able to take care
5 million. Unless it's an elaborate duplex, as some people usually like to have them.
All right, quick one, sir. If you have to advise a client who is actually planning to execute such projects,
Okay.
what advice would you give to the client?
Okay. There are some practice. Should I call them sharp practice that people tend to involve in? And like I always say, at times I used to wonder where people get their what's the word now? Where they get their principles of operations from. I advise persons, if you are doing a story building, just be sure to keep to the rudiments of practice. Ensure that your starter pillars are 16 mm. So many persons use 12 mm. It's ensure your pillars are, yes, the pillars that carries your decking 16 mm. Ensure you have sufficient beams to support your decking, not your decking slab resting on block walls. It's not an okay practice to do that. Ensure you have enough beams. Like I met okay, in one of my projects, I met a woman this week. She was lamenting the decking she had. There was no single beam holding the decking. after lintel, they just did two coach of block around the entire building, and then they put their slab on it like that. And so someone drew her attention to it, and so because of that, she was bothered. They had already done the decking, they had even built to roof level. And so, well, all I can say is ensure that your columns are 16 mm and ensure you have sufficient beams to support your slab. With this, you don't really have to break your head. The structural design, if you did, should inform you of where you should have your beams, and just ensure that you have this proper structural design for your project, because this will guide whoever is handling the project as to where to place beams and what kind of reinforcement to do and all that. So that's like the advice I would have to give today for anyone hoping to embark on a project such as this. Ensure you have a structural design, a proper one, and then stick to what it suggests. So that's like it, sir.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
So very much.
Thank you for coming around.
My pleasure, sir. It's always nice having Engineer Edwin on site, because you'd always get one or two advice that will help guide operations on what you'll be doing on site. So some people would actually say that, oh, Victor, I did my own deck, it's quite big, but I didn't use that amount of rods. That is why he just told you that there are some deckings that probably the startup beams are not actually factored. Yeah, your engineer probably will just tell you that Ogamo will do it like this, but that may not be the right practices. Please ensure you get the right people on site to help you achieve your project. My name is remain Victor Olise. Thank you for staying tuned with us. And if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, kindly hit the subscribe button right about now and subscribe to our channel. Thank you, and God bless you.